Welcome back to World Bike 55. Today we are taking a detailed look at a motorcycle with an unmistakable American custom chopper personality, the Big Bear Venom. But before we get into the review, there is one important point to clarify. As of 2026, there is no reliable official specification sheet confirming a production 2027 Big Bear Venom. Big Bear Chopper's original production motorcycles were discontinued years ago, so the 2027 model discussed in this video should be treated as a future concept or hypothetical revival rather than a confirmed factory model. For this review, we will use the established Big Bear Venom design and specifications as the foundation and imagine how a modern 2027 version could evolve while preserving the character that made the Venom famous. The Big Bear Venom has never been a motorcycle designed to disappear into traffic. It was created around the idea that a motorcycle can be transportation, mechanical art, and personal expression at the same time. The original Venom was known for its long, low chopper proportions, large V-twin engine, stretched frame, distinctive swing arm, low seat, wide rear tire, and extensive use of polished and chrome components. Historical specifications list the Venom with a 1,638.7 cc, or 100 cubic inch, SSV twin engine, 6-speed transmission, approximately 95 horsepower and around 110 pound-feet of torque, depending on configuration. So, if a 2027 Venom revival were introduced, what would it look like? The answer starts with the design. The original Venom had an extremely recognizable silhouette. The large single radius down tube flowed into the frame, while the long front end and approximately 40-degree rake created the classic stretched chopper stance. The seat was positioned very low, around 23 inches on documented versions, making the motorcycle visually long and giving it a distinctive riding position. A modern 2027 interpretation would ideally keep those proportions instead of turning the Venom into an ordinary cruiser. The long tank, low seat, wide rear section, exposed mechanical components, and clean frame lines would remain central to the motorcycle's identity. The goal would not simply be to make the bike bigger or more powerful. The goal would be to make it instantly recognizable as a Venom. At the front, the motorcycle could continue with a narrow 21-inch wheel, a long telescopic fork, and a hidden axle-style appearance. Historical Venom specifications list a 90-section front tire and a large rear tire, with some versions using a 250mm rear tire while other records list wider configurations. For a 2027 version, modern alloy wheels could replace some of the older designs, with a selection of polished, black, or machine finishes. A contemporary LED headlight could be integrated into the classic chopper shape without destroying the old-school character. LED lighting would provide better visibility and lower electrical consumption while allowing designers to keep the front end visually clean. One of the most recognizable elements of the Venom is its arched swing arm. Historical descriptions specifically identify the patented Venom arched swing arm as one of the motorcycle's signature design features. A future model would almost certainly need to preserve this visual element because removing it would take away one of the details that separates the Venom from countless other custom motorcycles. Now let's talk about the engine. The original Venom was associated with a 100 cubic inch SSV twin, and documented versions produced around 95 horsepower and approximately 110 pound-feet of torque. That combination was never really about chasing superbike acceleration. Instead, the focus was on strong low and mid-range character, a deep V-twin feel, and effortless cruising. For a hypothetical 2027 Venom, a modern engine could maintain the approximately 1,600 to 1,700 cc displacement range while gaining modern electronic fuel injection, improved engine management, cleaner emissions, and better thermal control. The result could be a powertrain that feels traditional but operates with much greater precision. Imagine twisting the throttle on a modern Venom. The response would ideally be immediate but controlled, with strong torque building as the engine moves through the lower rev range. This is exactly the type of performance that suits a long-wheelbase chopper. You do not need to rev the engine aggressively to make progress. Instead, the motorcycle should feel muscular and relaxed, with the engine delivering a strong wave of torque whenever the rider opens the throttle. The 6-speed gearbox is another important part of the Venom formula. Historical models were equipped with 6-speed manual transmissions, giving the rider a wide spread of ratios for both city riding and highway cruising. A 2027 interpretation could use a modern 6-speed gearbox with an improved clutch and smoother shifting action. At highway speeds, 6th gear would be especially important. A tall final gear could keep engine speed reasonable during long-distance cruising, helping reduce vibration, noise, and fuel consumption. A modernized Venom could therefore retain the relaxed personality of a traditional American chopper while being more comfortable on longer rides. And comfort is an interesting subject with a motorcycle like this. The Venom's low seat was one of its strongest visual features. The documented seat height was around 23 inches. Although exact measurements can vary between configurations. A low seat makes the motorcycle approachable at stops, but the long wheelbase and stretched geometry mean that handling will feel very different from a lightweight naked bike. The riding position would likely be relaxed, with pullback or custom-style handlebars and forward controls. Your arms would reach forward, your feet would sit farther ahead, and the rider would become part of the motorcycle's long, stretched silhouette.